Arthur Circus, a prime real estate region at Battery Point, Hobart, Tasmania, is a setting for this depiction of Thylo Park is melting. It's a tale of revenge of the animal kingdom against man, in this case from the long-suffering thylacine or Tasmanian tiger, being also subjected to some cruel treatment by an overzealous circus trainer named William Cretin. As things turned out, in the end, the trainer may well have wished that he was never born. The saga began when a group of wealthy Hobart businessmen decided to establish a circus with a difference at the reserve in the centre of Arthur Circus. One of the men was a highly popular Hollywood actor who'd been in a number of swashbuckling movies. The actor's father was also a scientist, and the group decided to combine their skills to produce an unforgettable circus experience, but mainly to make some quick cash. Council approval was soon received for the enterprise, and the site at Arthur Circus prepared to erect the circus structure. Now William Cretin, the circus head trainer, used his bush knowledge to take his group of animal trappers to a place called the Nut near Stanley in Tasmania. He believed that the thylacines in this region were quite fierce and thought that they could add some extra excitement to the show. After rounding up 8 pairs of thylacines, and one of the men having a hand bitten off in the process, they took the snarling creatures on the road back to Hobart to the breeding enclosures. The trip was a pretty noisy one, with the thylacines howling like a pack of wolves and snarling angrily at their captors along the way. When they finally arrived late that night in Hobart, the thylacines were led into a large holding cage by the men, who then hosed out the van. The scientist then fed the thylacines with his concoction of a new growth hormone he'd developed, mixed with a chicken stock base. The scientists had taken a complete charge of the thylacines during their breeding stage, and 3 months later informed the trainers and circus organisers that they were ready to train for the show. The hormone treatment had, however, produced some 2-headed thylacines, but this only made the men more excited. The opening night for the Thylo Park Circus had finally arrived, and a large crowd began pouring into the tent, greeted at the entrance by head trainer and general dog's body, William Cretin. One of the 2-headed thylacines also greeted the excited patrons as they swarmed into the tent, but its movements were restricted because of a thick metal chain secured to a support post. It was standing room only inside the circus tent, with the organisers wanting to jam in as many people as possible. The Hollywood actor had also invited a number of his friends who were anticipating a grand performance in the ring. Unfortunately, the performing thylacines had been treated brutally by William Cretin, who'd whipped them and often starved the poor creatures in order to make them more wild for the show. Now, when no one else could be jammed into a circus tent, the show finally began, with a huge crowd cheering loudly. William Cretin shuffled slowly into the centre of the ring, resplendent in his ringmaster outfit, to introduce the show. Roll up for the Circus of Horror," he said, in a loud, booming voice. A pack of trained but badly beaten two-headed Tasmanian tigers were carefully led into the ring, with William loudly cracking his bullwhip to get them into position on the old brewery kegs that he'd set up in there. The badly treated thylacines were, however, reluctant to perform, and the trainer's more persistent whip cracking on the floor only made them more agitated. They merely stood, still gathered in a pack, in the centre of the circus ring, glaring intently at William, with mouths frothing and an increasingly angry snarl about them. Soon, William Cretin, the ringmaster, was cracking his whip more furiously in front of the pack of performing thylacines, whose many eyes bulged out further in anger at him. Suddenly, the large dominant male, thylacine, leapt at the trainer and pulled him rapidly down onto the hard, dusty ground. The rest of the pack then dragged him across to the side of the ring to an almost unimaginable fate. The large thylacine then clamped its razor-sharp teeth from one of its heads onto William's face, and in a type of scalping procedure, his face was completely removed. The swashbuckling actor had been eating his dinner from a can in the audience, but had brought his acting outfit with him and was soon in the ring to regain normality, if there was such a word in the situation. A pair of paramedics had also quickly appeared on the scene. One of them told his companion to put an oxygen mask on the trainer's face, but was responded with the comment, "I would if I had a face to put one on." The ringmaster had suffered extreme revenge from the thylacines that he'd badly treated. The actor raced into the scene to try to restore order, but it was a good thing that his acting experience had trained him to move quickly in an encounter such as this, and he came within a whisker of having two pairs of yellow, snapping teeth attached to his lower body. Because the paramedics had left the cage door open, angry thylacines were roaming into the audience fairly quickly. One of the actor's female co-stars found herself to be 1 minute ordering some refreshments from the catering boy, and the next minute finding a two-headed thylacine's jaw had been clamped onto her white hand. A bad thing, however, soon became a good thing, when thylacine quickly released its grip on her and she was able to move away to safety. She had been saved by her actor friend, who'd leapt to her defence as the entire pack of angry thylacines gingerly walked back to the tunnel, through to their cages, where they remained to be closed in again. So, what had suddenly quelled the storm of anger, you may ask? The actors, ready to perform male acrobats in blue tights, were also unwilling to come anywhere near the actor at the time of a confrontation. The sole reason that the day had been saved by the swashbuckling actor was that just before changing into his tights and vest, he'd consumed 2 cans of curried baked beans, and his natural functions had made him extremely undesirable to be anywhere near. Thylo Park was melting, but not in a way that one would have expected. Thylo Park is Melting was written by Victor M.O.N.A, Tiger Creek Art, Tasmania, 2014, and is copyright. Any resemblance to any people in the story is purely coincidental. The story is narrated by Cecil B. Witherspoon.